Your takeaway from the stunning collapse of these talks overnight, do you believe there will be long-term market impact?
Good morning. Hi there. I'd say in the near term, yes, it is driving sentiment, and as it should do. We are, geopolitical risks, be it the North Korean angle or India, Pakistan, or Iran sanctions, for example. All of these things are important, but we would see the longer term drivers to be things like the trade talks that we have with China, fundamental data, earnings. So in the medium to long term, we would be much more focused on the underlying economic fundamentals.
Do you think this would change any of the underlying fundamentals, or is it more of a political story?
I think it is definitely something to watch in terms of its impact on the balance of risks. So we know that the global growth picture today is pretty mediocre, and downside risks have increased. And this actually adds to that. So I'd say it is important in that sense, but also the longevity of this tension is also another factor. As we've seen with trade talks, as they elongated in terms of the timeline, it has fed through or seeped into the economic data. So you're right, it can filter through into economic fundamentals.
Yeah, I'm really asking you to.
We're looking at the.
I'm really asking you to put on your geopolitical hat here, Thushka. I appreciate you rolling with it because all these things are happening in the last 24 hours. You've also got India and Pakistan claiming to have shot down each other's jets. These are two nuclear-armed powers. We had negotiations between two that broke down, the U.S. and North Korea, but two countries with nukes are actively now engaged in a conflict on a disputed border. Does this just increase global risk? Do we need to de-lever a bit, take risk off the table, get a little more safe in the way that we invest?
I'd say yes, this new innovation is an important one to be watching. But as you say, it's not something we can easily forecast, predict, or take a very high conviction view on. In the near term, I'd say we take some solace from the fact that there is still an open line of dialogue between the two parties you mentioned. But from a fundamental perspective, it's hard for us to hedge, price in, or anticipate the next action. What I would say, though, is that we do see within multi-asset solutions at JP Morgan Asset Management, we are more cautious on stocks relative to bonds. This just adds another factor, another increasingly important factor to that argument.